Okay, so we've decided to record the sun salutation sequence from the introductory course, just to give you a little bit of backup from the material from the course. So the central posture here is the chair position. So we spent a little bit of time establishing the chair. What we're looking for here is that the knees stay the same width as the hips. And another thing to be observant of is that there's a tendency for people to pop out in the solar plexus area in this position. So if you get people to just push their forearms or their wrists into the swing material and pull the back of the body into the swing material as well, this should help the spine to drop and get more length in the spine from the crown down into the tailbone. And so this is your chair position. From here you're going to transition into mountain. So straighten the legs, straighten the arms. That's it, that's your inhalation. Exhalation, coming back down into chair position, dropping the sit bones, pressing into the feet. And then again, inhaling back into mountain, stretching into the fingertips. Exhale down into chair. And just continue with this, moving from the feet, pushing into the feet, breathing up through the body into the hands. Exhale down into chair, dropping the sit bones down towards the floor. Continuing to do this for however many repetitions you want to have in your class. Just a little note on your drishti, on your gaze. So as you go back into this, turn the eyes so you're looking up between the hands, but don't drop the head back. Yeah? As you come forwards, the gaze is straight ahead. As you go back, the gaze is up towards the ceiling without dropping the head back. Yeah? That's it. So once you've done your required repetitions of this, you're going to come back and hold it for 5 breaths. That's it. Holding the position, pressing into the ball of the big toe, engaging the thighs, the center, maybe a tiny little bend in the elbows to help the top of the back relax. Gazes up towards the ceiling, lean back into the swing. Now you're going to bend your knees and return to the chair position. From the chair position, step back 1 foot length on each side. That's it, 1 foot length. Pull yourself up to standing. Keep the arms around the swing and transition into a forward fold. So the swing should gather on the inside of your elbows. And then just transfer the weight backwards and forwards very gently. So bring the weight into the toes and then back into the heels. Into the toes, back into the heels. And then try and find the center, roughly the center of your feet to balance over. That's your balance point. Bring the elbows tight to the side of the body and extend through the thoracic spine and through the chest area. Gaze should be straight down on the floor. And we're not really going for depth at this point in the sequence. We're mainly going for alignment. So trying to stay over the center of both of your feet and extending into your chest. That's the goal of this posture. Now from here, we're going to inhale and come back up to standing and return to the chair position. So returning to chair, you might find you need to walk your feet back forwards a foot length. That's it. And then as we inhale, we're going to push back, arms up over the head again, like mountain posture, but now we're going to go to the right side into a side stretch. That's it. Inhaling back to the center, exhaling over to your left side into a side stretch. Inhaling center, exhaling side. Inhaling center, exhaling side. Continuing to do this as many repetitions as you require in your class or in your home practice. As you do this, try and get the hips moving as well. See if you can get some movement from the hips as you go to the side, and try not to lift the feet. Try not to lift the feet off the floor. Again, a little micro bend in the elbows might help you to relax the upper back. Right, so now come back to the center, drop yourself back down into chair, rest the arms against the swing, drop the sit bones down into chair position to give the arms a little rest. Inhale, push back. Take the arms over to the right side, hold the position for 5 breaths. Push strongly into the outside of your left foot without lifting the inside. Let the hips move out to your left. Let the shoulder blades pull back into the swing, and then see if you can just drop the top of the shoulders a little bit. That's it. The gaze should be up towards the ceiling without dropping the head back. And then we come back to the center. We drop ourselves down into chair one more time, resting the arms. And then we go back. We push back, inhaling back, exhaling over to your left side. Hips go out to the right, leaning back into the swing, micro bending the elbows, lifting the gaze towards the ceiling and leaning back, really enjoying the support of the swing, leaning back into the swing. Then back to the center, back down into chair position, dropping it down into chair. We're going to step back 1 foot length on each side. That's it. Pull ourselves up to standing. Keeping a narrow stance, we're going to swan dive forwards into Uttanasana. Yeah, so standing forward fold. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is get the length. So we remember the length from the last time we were here. The body remembers the length. So coming into that position, and we're going to turn it into a twist towards your right side. So drop your left hand down to the floor, underneath your face. Reach up with your right hand, grab hold of the swing material, begin to open the chest to your right side. Yeah? You may want to take your left hand over to your right leg to help you twist a bit more. And then with the face, I would either look down or turn the head slightly to your left side. That's it. And then you're pulling with the top arm and you're pulling with the bottom hand as well. This helps to bring you into more of a twist. If this is too much for you, you should keep your left hand on the floor or facing straight down. You shouldn't really be losing quality in your breathing by twisting too much, using too much force. Now you're going to slowly half come back up so you can change arms. So you're lifting halfway up, swapping the arms, and then exhaling forwards, bringing the right hand to the floor this time, raising the left arm up, beginning to twist to your left side, choosing the same option with your arms as you did on the other side, and then looking straight down or slightly away to your right side. So try to push outwards into the outside edges of the feet. If you have a tendency to collapse inwards, try and push into the outside edge, the little toe side of your feet, as you pull with both of your arms. And then on the next inhalation, we're going to come all the way up nice and slowly. So we're going to come up, arms go through, we come back into chair position. So we step the feet forwards. We're going to transition now between chair and a back bend. So as we inhale, push back, keep holding the swing, drop the shoulders and chest further back into a back bend. Exhale, come forwards into chair, resting the arms against the swing. That's it. Inhaling back into a back bend. Exhaling down into your chair. Inhaling back bend. Exhaling chair. So just to give you a few options here as you go through this, the rhythm of your own breathing. Another option you might try is letting go completely, lining the head up with the arms. That's a deeper back bend. And then exhaling down into chair. For a lot of people that might be uncomfortable, so you would keep holding the swing. That's like a milder version. Sometimes people might struggle with a difficulty or discomfort in the neck, so another version you might do is to interlace your hands behind your head and support some of the weight of the head, like that. And then back down into chair. So you have a few different options. We'll do one more back bend, so whichever version you want to do, those back bends. And then we come down into chair. We're going to drop the hips right down, come and get some extension in your lumbar spine. Then we're going to come into whatever version of back bend you are most comfortable with. We're going to hold it for 5 breaths. So push into a back bend, either holding the swing, supporting the head, or arms by the side of your head. Push strongly into the feet, strongly grounding down into the feet, breathing deeply. Remember, if you're struggling to breathe, you've been too intense. Now we're going to pull ourselves back up. From there, we're going to drop ourselves down into chair position. Step back, 1 foot length on each side. Pull ourselves up to standing. We're going to go into a wide forward bend now. So we step it out as wide as you are comfortable. The legs remain straight. Swan dive forwards. That's it. Swan dive forwards. The swing is supporting the inside of your elbows. Let's just do that little bit of rocking back and forth to find the center of your feet. So we're looking for the center of both of your feet. Now once we've found that, push into the outside edge of your feet, and if you want to bring the chest a little bit lower to the floor, you can try straightening the arms or grabbing hold of the swing with the hands so you can bring the chest a little bit lower, only if you want to. It's just an option. Yeah. And we're going to stay in the position, shoulders away from the ears, gaze down towards the floor, pushing strongly into the outside of the feet. And we're going to exit now, so we pull ourselves back up with an inhalation, get the swing behind you, take hold of the swing, jump the feet back into the chair position. And then from here we're going to push back again, so we're going to push back into mountain, place the hands behind the head, interlacing the fingers, and now we're going to take the elbows over to the left side. That's it, over to the left side, inhale center, and then back over to the right side. Inhale center, exhale left, inhale center, exhale right. You continue to do this a few more times at your own breathing pace. Just a little tip, try imagining you're pulling the fingers apart without it actually happening. You might find that opens the shoulders and elbows a bit wider. Now we're going to come down into chair, so we rest the arms against the swing. We're going to push back, and we're going to take the elbows over to the left side and hold it there. Over to your left, hold the position for 5 breaths. So strongly push into the right foot. Let the hips move out to the right side. Pull the rib cage back into the swing, and gently pull the fingers apart to widen the shoulders. Now come back into the center. Exhale, bend your knees, drop yourself down into chair. Inhale, pushing back. Arms go behind the head again. Come over to your right side this time. That's it, stretching the left side of the body. Let the hips move out to your left. Keep the feet grounded. Pull the fingers apart. Turn the gaze up towards the ceiling. And we're going to release it. We're going to come back to the center, down into chair position. We take a step back, 1 foot length. We go wide with the legs. Pull ourselves up, go wide with the legs. We swan dive forwards again. Swan dive forwards. Okay, now we're going to turn this position into a twist. So we're going to bring the left hand down to the floor. We're going to reach up with the right hand, take hold of the swing, and I would just stay looking down towards your left hand for a little while. Once you've loosened up into it, you can take hold of the outside edge of the right leg. But if that feels too intense, if it stops you breathing, and then I would keep the right hand on the floor and I would just look down at the right hand. Now with the next inhalation, you're going to come up, about halfway up, swap the arms over. That's it, bring the right hand to the floor and reach up with the left hand. Now just keep looking straight down at the right hand. That's it. So you've already getting the rotation in your spine at this point. If you feel like you need more, or you can go for more, then you can take that hand out to the outside of the left leg. That's it. And then you can pull a little bit with that right hand against your left leg. But again, if you've stopped breathing, or if you find that your chest is now tracking over to your left leg, so you've lost the center of the posture, then you need to come back. So your torso stays in the center, it doesn't go over to your left side. And then you're going to come back, release the hand, bring yourself back up with an inhalation, arms are through, jump back into your chair position. That's it. And then from your chair position, we're going to just push back into mountain a few times to help stretch the spine. That's it. So we're going to inhale up, exhale down into mountain 4 or 5 times. And then we're going to get into the groin, or the adductors and the groin muscles. So we're going to walk back 1 foot length again. Go for a nice wide posture. Turn the toes outwards this time and come into a squat. So at this point, check that your knees are not rolling in. So if they're rolling in, you're going a little bit too wide, you need to narrow your base, so that they're not rolling in. Once you've got the right base for yourself, then you can begin to transfer the weight from side to side. So you straighten your left leg, and then you straighten your right, bend your left. So you go side to side. Or for some of you, you might want to begin to lean forwards a little bit. So you could lean forwards and intensify it. Or you might even lift up the toes of the straight leg like that. And you might want to stay there and just enjoy the stretch. So always different options for different body types. These are not better or worse. These are just different options. It's like a menu. Think of it like a menu. So side to side, into the groin. And then we're going to come all the way back up from there. So we reach up, take hold of the swing. Jump yourself back into the center, into your chair position. And then from here, we're going to do some circling. So we're going to circle the body around. Little circles. Just notice the feet stay down. So as much as possible, keep the feet grounded on the floor and do this little circular motion that helps to relax the hips, the knees, the lower back. Let the hips really drop as well. That's it. So we do a few rotations like that. And then we're going to change directions and do a few rotations in the opposite direction. And then we're going to pause in the chair position. So where we started, let's drop the sit bones, press the wrists against the swing, let the lower back drop and extend the lumbar spine. Make sure the knees are not rocking in, and that's the end of this sun salutation sequence.